The GT8 Pro was a genuinely impressive phone. A great display, a powerful chip, a big battery, and surprisingly competent cameras, especially with that Ricoh GR collaboration. But what if you liked everything about the GT8 Pro, except for the price tag? Well, that's where this phone comes in, the standard Realme GT8. It carries the soul of the GT8 Pro while cutting a few luxuries to land at nearly a 30% lower price. So what exactly did Realme compromise on? And more importantly, what did they keep? Let's unbox the GT8 and find out in today's video. If this is your first time here, or in case you just can't remember, my name's Ash, you're watching C4eTech, and let's get started. The GT8 box is very similar to the Pros, including the Ricoh GR branding. I've got the base variant here, 12256. Realme goes up to 16 gigs of LPDDR5X RAM and up to a terabyte of storage. Inside, you get a black insert with a couple of leaflets and a soft case. Next, there's the GT8 itself. This green back here, this is vegan leather. Realme also offers the GT8 in white and blue. Digging further in, we have a USB Type-A to Type-C cable, a 100-watt SuperVOOC charger, and a SIM tool. Now, the standard GT8 also sports a 7000 mAh battery, so with this charger, it can go 0 to 50 in about 20 minutes with a full charge taking a little over 50. Now, at this point, a few cuts are obvious. UFS 4 instead of 4.1, 100 watts instead of 120, meaning the phone takes a few extra minutes to charge, no wireless charging support, the swappable camera deco is gone. No, none of these are deal breakers. The actual story begins with performance and optics. Now, the GT8 uses last year's flagship Snapdragon 8 Elite. While it's no longer top dog on paper, I noticed something interesting. Yes, peak benchmarks are lower, but under sustained load, the GT8 actually retains performance better than the Pro. After 20 minutes of stress testing, the older 8 Elite is performing better than the 8 Elite Gen 5 on the GT8 Pro. Now, that's not something you often see. The trade-off, the GT8 does run warmer, topping out at just under 50 degrees. So yes, it gets hot, but it also stays fast. The second big change is with the cameras. Now, the primary, that remains unchanged, and we'll get to that in just a minute. For now, let's talk about the other three that have changed. With the telephoto, you get a much smaller sensor at 1 by 2.76 inches. The resolution is also lower at 50 megapixels. Images are still pretty good, but definitely a downgrade from the Pro. Similarly, the ultrawide is also a smaller run-of-the-mill 8 megapixel sensor here. It does an okay-ish job. Even the selfie camera has been nerfed, 16 megapixels down from 32. Stills are fine, but selfie video is capped to 1080-60 while the Pro can do 4K60. So these are the major differences. Let's now talk about what remains unchanged, starting with that primary camera. It's the same 50 megapixel Sony IMX906 paired with an optically stabilized f1.8 lens. Images are crisp, detailed, the dynamic range is pretty good. It's well complemented by the Ricoh GR features we saw on the GT8 Pro. The new GR mode lets you shoot Ricoh GR style shots at 28 and 40mm focal lengths. You get options to switch to 35 and 50mm if needed. You can even turn off all UI elements here to get a very immersive shooting experience. The 5 GR tone presets return. There's standard, there's positive, which gives you slightly contrasty images. Then there's the negative film and 2 monochrome options. One preserves detail, while another boosts contrast. I really enjoyed shooting with the last one. Now, each of these presets can be further tuned, and you even get to showcase your settings with the watermark. Quite cool. The snap option that lets you lock focus at one of these preset distances is also present. With video, you can go up to 8K 30, and for HDR, you can shoot up to 4K 120. There's even support to shoot log. The takeaway here is pretty simple. If you mostly shoot with the primary and you like the color science of it, you lose almost nothing with the GT8. But if you rely on the telephoto or the ultrawide a lot, then the Pro definitely wins. The rest of the phone, it's identical to the Pro. You still get the same 6.78-inch AMOLED display. It's one of the very few 2K panels in this segment. It's got a 144Hz refresh, LTPS though. Realme claims 7000 nits for HDR, and we measured over 2200 nits under auto mode. So it's bright, sharp, easy to use outdoors. It even goes as low as 1 nit under low light. The stereo speakers are unchanged, so media consumption is just as good as with the Pro. Software and support remain identical as well. This is Realme UI 7 built atop Android 16 with the same 4 major update promise. Everything feels just as snappy, fluid, and well optimized. Moving on, you still get an IR blaster, NFC, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6.0, an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner that works with wet hands, up to an IP69 rating for ingress protection. Now the build, barring that swappable camera deco, is pretty identical. Flat display, flat back, flat metal frame. The back's vegan leather with vein-like patterns, quite grippy. The GT8 is about 5 grams lighter, though that is not something you are gonna actually notice. So yes, there are compromises, but starting at 28.99 RMB instead of 39.99, the value shift is obvious. You are giving up camera versatility, benchmark numbers, and a few premium extras, but you get to keep the important things like the build, that 2K display, the primary camera with all the Ricoh GR features, the high capacity battery, and so on. And that's why I feel the GT8 makes sense. We haven't heard anything about a global launch just yet, but if Realme manages to launch this at 30% under the GT8 Pro, then say in a market like India, you could see this launching at 50,000 rupees, and at that price, it would be a very compelling option. So what do you think about the Realme GT8? Would you pick this over the Pro? Would you like to see this go global? Drop a comment down below. And while you're down there, drop this video a like, subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. Thanks for watching. Ash, out.